The Xbox Ally X and the Lenovo Legion Go 2. Two of the most powerful Windows handhelds you can buy right now, both trying to claim the top spot for portable PC gaming. Both of these are running AMD's new Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor. Both of these push upgrades to their build quality, and both of these are promising high-level performance in your hands. But even though they share similar specs, the experience using them is entirely different. In this video, I'm going to compare these two head-to-head across design, screen, performance, battery life, and just overall experience in order to help you decide which one of these deserves your money. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about how these things actually feel to use, because this is where we see a large divide between the two devices. If you're looking for pure comfort, the Xbox Ally X takes the win here, hands down. It features that evolved controller grip design, and I have to say that this is 100% more comfortable to use than the Legion Go 2. I found that for longer gaming sessions, this is the one that I want to be holding. And because of these grips, this is the first handheld where I felt completely natural playing shooters because it feels like I'm playing a proper controller. On the other hand, we have the Legion Go 2. When you pick this up, it definitely feels more premium and solid, but you're going to feel that weight. This comes in at around 920 grams compared to the Xbox Ally X's 715. So this means that for longer gaming sessions, the Legion Go 2 isn't quite as comfortable to hold, and I often find myself using the kickstand to take the load off. So if you want something premium, go with the Legion Go, but if you want a device that you can hold for hours comfortably, it's the Xbox Ally X all day. Now, if there's one thing where these two handhelds couldn't be more different, it's the screen. And honestly, this might be the deciding factor for a lot of people. Starting with the Xbox Ally X, this is the exact same 7-inch 1080p IPS display that we've seen on every previous Ally model. Same size, same resolution, same panel, and for a 2025 premium handheld, this is the one part of the device that really feels like a missed opportunity. Now don't get me wrong, the screen isn't bad, but when everything else around it has improved, the battery, the design, the comfort, the performance, the display staying the same is kind of hard to overlook, especially once you compare to what Lenovo's doing. Because the Legion Go 2 screen is absolutely gorgeous. We're talking about a massive 8.8-inch OLED panel, 1920 by 1200 resolution, 144 Hz refresh rate, and VRR. It's bigger, it's brighter, it's more vibrant, and the colors just pop in a way that the Xbox Ally X doesn't. And the extra screen real estate definitely makes a difference. Single player games feel more immersive, open world games feel more cinematic, and honestly, this might be the best display on any handheld right now. So, the Xbox Ally X screen is fine, and it's totally usable, but the Legion Go 2 screen is bold, it's beautiful, and it's easily the biggest standout upgrade of this generation. So, if screen quality is one of your top priorities, the Legion Go 2 wins this category, no question. Now, on paper, the Xbox Ally X and the Legion Go 2 are extremely similar in terms of hardware. Both devices are running AMD's latest generation processors, both come with fast DDR5X RAM, both of these have 1TB SSDs, at least the configurations that I have here. But once you dig into the details a little bit, there are a few meaningful differences worth calling out. Starting with the processor. The Xbox Ally X is running the Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor. This is the version of AMD's chip that includes the updated XDNA2 neural processing engine for AI task, whereas the Legion Go 2 is using the regular Z2 Extreme. Now, I will be honest, I haven't noticed that AI matters too much for gaming, but it is worth calling out that the Xbox Ally X technically has the more advanced chip. But the Legion Go 2 pulls ahead with the RAM. The Xbox Ally X is coming at 24 gigs of DDR5X RAM at 8000 megahertz, while the Legion Go 2 is taking that speed but bumping it up with 32 gigs of RAM. Now, sure, not everything needs 32 gigs of RAM, but the extra RAM definitely helps, and you're just kind of future-proofing and you're less likely to hit some memory limits down the road with more demanding titles. Storage on these devices is a draw. Both of my devices came stock with 1 terabyte SSDs, and both of those are user upgradable. So overall, the hardware story looks like this. The Xbox Ally X has a slightly more advanced processor, while the Legion Go 2 is giving you a little bit more RAM. Performance is where things get interesting because even though these two are using very similar hardware, they're not pushing the same number of pixels. The Xbox Ally X runs games at a max resolution of 1080p, while the Legion Go 2 has that taller native resolution of 1200p. Now, in my testing, in my personal gameplay, I've been keeping things simple and I've used both devices at their native max resolution using medium in-game settings. And honestly, I've been focusing on real-world gameplay rather than synthetic benchmarks, looking for an enjoyable gaming experience. And honestly, the numbers aren't drastically different here. So once again, medium in-game settings, different, but max native resolutions. In Borderlands 4, the Xbox Ally X could barely hold over 30 FPS, while the Legion Go 2 was only able to get into the 20s. In Battlefield, the Xbox Ally X saw numbers in the 50s, whereas the Legion Go 2 averaged in the 40s. And then in Arc Raiders, both devices saw numbers in the 60s to 70s. So what does all of this mean? At native resolution, the Xbox Ally X may sometimes perform a little better, but comparatively, the Legion Go 2 can absolutely keep up, and the differences really aren't too much. Both of these devices are going to give you very playable experiences with modern AAA games. Now, battery life is another area where these two handhelds come surprisingly close. The Xbox Ally X has a larger 80 watt hour battery, and it's pushing that smaller 7-inch 1080p IPS display, whereas the Legion Go 2 has a lightly smaller 74 watt hour battery, still an upgrade from the original version though, and it's pushing that bigger 8.8-inch OLED panel with the higher 1200p resolution. So theoretically, I thought that the Xbox Ally X was going to last noticeably longer, but once I actually started playing, the results ended up much closer than I expected. Across all of those similar games, Borderlands 4, Battlefield, Arc Raiders, Outer Wilds 2, I was getting around 2 hours of gameplay on both devices using those native resolution medium settings, playing in the higher performance modes. I may have seen a maybe 10 to 15 minute difference with the Xbox Ally X, but they were both averaging around 2 hours of gameplay. And then obviously for both of these devices, if you were to lower the resolution, if you drop the power mode, if you were playing indie or older games or emulators, both of these devices would give you much longer than 2 hours. But for stress testing, some latest AAA titles, around 2 hours was the baseline you can realistically expect. So while on paper, the Xbox Ally X has the bigger battery and the more power efficient screen, the actual gaming experiences ended up being more closer than I thought. Now, both of these devices have their own specific software. The Xbox Ally X has Armoury Crate, the Legion Go 2 has Legion Space, and for both of these, you can launch games, manage your performance profiles, jump into settings, run your updates, all sorts of things like that. But I think the real story here, at least for right now, is the new Xbox full screen experience that comes built into the Xbox Ally X. This is the first Windows handheld that feels even remotely console-like in its UI, and pressing the dedicated Xbox button pulls up something that feels familiar, it's fast, it's easy to use, especially if you're coming from a console. And yeah, while the Xbox experience is confirmed to be rolling out to other Windows handhelds in the future, the Xbox Ally X is the first one where it ships out of the box, fully integrated and ready to go. So, for potential buyers that are coming primarily from a console and may not be as familiar with PC gaming, I think that this is a big deal and it may make the Xbox Ally X feel a little bit more approachable. Of course, both of these devices are still running full Windows 11, so you can use them like the PC that they are. And all of your favorite game launchers, Steam, Epic, Battle.net, Xbox, everything's gonna work the same on both. All right, let's look at the price because this is where the decision might be made for a lot of you. Neither of these devices are cheap, but there is still a pretty substantial price gap between the two. The Xbox Ally X is coming in at 999 USD, whereas the Legion Go 2, at least the model that I'm using with the Z2 Extreme, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte, hits the wallet much harder at 1349 USD. That's a $350 difference. So which one is actually worth your money? If you want a handheld that you can actually hold 4 hours without fatigue, the Xbox Ally X is the one. It's 100% more comfortable than the Legion Go 2. And like I said earlier, it's the first handheld where I've actually felt completely natural and comfortable playing shooters. The controller grips are just fantastic. I love the experience. Combine that with the native Xbox full screen experience, and you have a device that just feels ready to play the moment you pick it up. So if you can live with the smaller non-OLED 1080p, you're saving $350 and you're getting a completely better feeling experience. The Legion Go 2, that's for the money is no object gamer who prioritizes visuals above everything else. If you want the most immersive experience that you can get in a handheld, if you want to get lost in your games, this OLED is unrivaled in the handheld market, in my opinion. It definitely feels more premium, although it is hefty and it's not always the best for longer gaming sessions. So if you have the budget and you demand the best screen on the market, go with the Legion Go 2. So there you have it. Both of these handhelds are powerful. Both can play modern AAA games and both deliver around 2 hours of battery life under heavy load without trying to min-max things. The Xbox Ally X is the king of comfort. It has that console-like feel. The Legion Go 2, it's the king of visuals. That screen cannot be beat. If you have either of these devices, drop a comment. Let me know what your experiences have been like. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more tech and gaming videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Game on.